Well. How's it going, everybody? So, normally I do my recordings in studio, but today I've been on the road and I'm doing it from my apartment. So, guys, you'll have to excuse me. I'm in my tracksuit pajamas. Oh, and you should see my look. See my sock? I got a hole in it. Jesus, I should be banned. Be banned from YouTube. Banned and podcasts. I can't even believe I'm showing you. Anyway, guys, okay, let's get to it. No, stop fucking around, Peter. Come on, Jesus. Right. So, guys, I think it was a really, really entertaining Grand Prix today. The Brazilian Grand Prix. Fantastic. Now, check out my last episode. We were talking about my previous episode was covering the sprint shootout, the qualifying and the race. Now, this one we're covering the main Grand Prix itself. So, yeah, let's start with qualifying, guys. So, as we know, it was a few days ago, the qualifying. Everyone again backing up in that fucking pit lane. Like, I've said this before, I'm sure, and I'm sorry, guys, if I'm sounding like a broken record on this one, but you know, when it comes to qualifying, you've got to give yourself some space. Don't be the first person out the gates. Because the problem here is, which you see all the time, guys, if you were watching right at the start of the qualifying on, was it Friday? Anyway, whenever it was, for the main Grand Prix. And everybody's bunched up in the pit lane. And what happens? They let everybody go through, green flag goes. That means everybody can go on the track. And what happens? Fucking everybody goes on the track at the same time. You're trying to get some space. And you know what? I'm sorry, just bear with me now, guys. If you're watching me on YouTube, I've just got my notes in front of me. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything. But what I did like to see here was Verstappen and Perez, they held back. Now, was that tactics? Maybe, maybe not. I actually do think it was tactics, though, I have to say. Because you know what? Hopefully they're learning, because they've been making these mistakes. I mean, fuck, you learn this in karting. You learn this in Formula Ford, Formula 2, Formula 1, anywhere. You should be learning this before you get to Formula 1. Get some fucking space. Because the warm-up lap is very, very important to make sure that you've got a clear enough gap where even though you're going slow, what you're doing on the warm-up lap is you're building momentum. So you're going quicker, and getting the tires. Because there's no point of doing a warm-up lap and halfway through the warm-up lap, then you got to slow down in traffic because all of a sudden the temperature is gone in the car. So it is very important to get a good, clear, as best as you can, of course, get a good, clear lap on the warm-up lap. And, well, Red Bull did the job, so fair play to them. Okay. Fine, guys. Look at the results, huh? I mean, it was so close in qualifying one. Look at that. I mean, the top 9 within 0.2. Like, that's like a karting race or qualifying. That's brilliant to see. So close. Now, to get that last 0.2, guys, or even a 10th, is like, it's so bloody hard to get that last 10th. I mean, I suppose maybe it's hard to describe, but it's nothing, right? But in racing, it's everything. And the top 9 covers within 0.2, just so good to see, so good. So it really did show that you were thinking before the sprint race that, oh, this is good. This could be very, very good. So you know, it's nice to see when it gets to that level where the cars are getting to that stage where 0.2 is covering the top 9. I think there's definitely good development when it comes to the cars now these days, where they're trying to keep the cars on a more level playing field. So I think top job to Ross Brawn. He's the main guy he's the wizard behind the curtain, so to speak, for these type of things. He's a brilliant strategist. So Ross Brawn, big thumbs up in my book. But obviously, guys, you can see qualifying 2 was okay. The track was starting to cool off at that stage, and I think what problem was, you could see that dark cloud come over. If anybody was watching, I mean, Jesus, it was like going from daytime to nighttime within 5 minutes. It was unreal, wasn't it? Jesus Christ. But again, when that dark cloud was coming in, the track was going to get cooler because the whole air climate was getting cooler. Therefore, the track would get cooler. So that's why the cars were just a little off in qualifying 2. They were going slower. Okay, qualifying 3. Well, qualifying 3. This did show Red Bull masterclass at this stage. The team now, not Verstappen per se. This was a proper Formula 1 team in action here, because not only did they do that in qualifying 1, where everybody was bunched up, and they said, let's hold back, lads, and they had Verstappen and Perez go out after everybody else, let everybody get tangled up and do their fucking thing, and then in qualifying 3, Verstappen gets out ahead. He gets out as soon as he can. Why? Because he knows that the rain's coming. Well, they all knew that the rain was coming, but no one had the urgency to get on the track fast as possible. Every driver needed to be on that track as fast as they can, because within 2 minutes, the track could be flooded, right? And even if it was like 5% wet and they were still on slick tires, the track was still going to go slow. Now, again, okay, well, you could argue that if all the cars are on the same time, well then, yes, it's a level playing field. But Red Bull knew, get him out fast as you can. And Verstappen was on the case on this one too. So fair fucks to him. I'll give him that as well. Big thumbs up to him. He was the only guy in the field to dash through everybody and get up to the top, past everybody, and get that quick lap in. And it wasn't even that quick of a lap, because you could see, I think he did a 10.1 in qualifying 1. Was it 10.1? And a 10.7 in qualifying 3. So again, it just shows you that the track was getting slower and slower in qualifying 3, but Verstappen knew. So that was great strategy. Fantastic. That's what I fucking like to see now. I've been saying this from day one, like in the round 3, round 4. Where's the strategy? Where is this? I mean, it's almost embarrassing. Even a few years ago, I remember, I think, did I do a podcast episode on that? Where you see, it was like 7-8 drivers were tucked up together trying to get a toe off each other in qualifying 3, and they screwed each other up and slowed each other up so much, they got so distracted that time was up. All their time was up. So again, it's not about just being the fastest guy on the track. It's about the strategy behind you as well, positioning yourself in the correct place. And Red Bull, hats off to those guys this weekend, honestly. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see. One or two just things about qualifying there now. It was interesting to hear Leclerc in qualifying 2. Now, he was 7th on new tyres, and the others were on old. And it's funny, guys, because I've been saying for a while now that new tyres doesn't mean that you're going to go faster. And Brazil is a classic case of this. It doesn't matter if you've got new tyres or older tyres. Leclerc was on new tyres for qualifying 2. And again, now the track was slightly changing now because that dark cloud was coming in. So if you think about it, well, Leclerc should have put it on pole, right? Because he was the only one on new tyres. But he didn't. He was in 7th. So, guys, it just goes to show you the technical aspect. And even weather conditions can play a huge factor with the handling of the car and just the general balance of the car. So it was, I just wanted to mention that to you guys if you have any interest in that one. And qualifying 3, again, I was just saying that, 7/10 slower Verstappen was than his original pole lap from qualifying 1 to qualifying 3. He was 7/10 slower in qualifying 3. Again, just because of the weather and pit stop strategy, got him over the line and got him. That was the difference between, I think, winning and losing today, because I don't think there was much difference between Norris and Verstappen here today. And I think it was all one. It was all one for that qualifying 3 when they got out at the start. Again, look, of course, you never know, but that definitely gave Verstappen on the front foot, the edge. He was definitely on the front foot for that one. So you can see, guys, Verstappen first, Leclerc second, Stroll third. So it was definitely an interesting qualifying, so it was. Okay, let's move on to the race itself. Oh, I really enjoyed this race, guys. I really enjoyed this one. Oh, by the way, did you see that dickhead celebrity quote, Machine Gun Kelly? Who the fuck is this guy? Like, I know he's gone out with that girl Megan Fox. He's some quote rapper, musician guy. I know he's famous, but I haven't heard much of him. But like, did you see him? Martin Brundle was doing his pit walk, and this guy was going up and down, and Brundle was trying to get in. Like, Brundle's only got what, 20 seconds, probably 30 seconds with each driver. So like, he's not stopping to talk to a driver or someone on the grid for very long. His whole mission is to talk to this person very quick, then move on to the next. That's his whole mission. Then this shithead, Machine Gun Kelly, literally, he stops talking to him, and within a split second, Machine Gun Kelly's trying to distract him and talk about his music or some shit. I mean, talk about a little fucking baby throwing the toys out of the cot. Didn't get enough attention at the weekend, and then he decides, oh, look at me, the camera's on me, and he's all over Brundle. What a fucking loser. Like, girl, ladies and gentlemen, this is the same guy who's dating or married to Megan Fox, the actress, and those two have been on TV saying that they drink blood from each other. I'm not making this up, by the way. This is public information. They've actually done, that girl Megan Fox has done this shit. She's even mentioned this in interviews. Fucking freaks, the two of them. Good Lord, man. Okay, right. So where do we go here? Okay, where am I going here, guys? I'm just getting comfortable. Right. They're still going on about Perez. Jesus Christ. I know I've done some episodes on this, guys, where if you're only watching the podcast episode for the first time, guys, first of all, welcome. And in my last few episodes, as many of you know who listen to me on a regular basis, I'm mentioning that Verstappen and Perez are teammates, and Perez has won 2 races this year so far already, and it was at the start of the year, and all of a sudden he's nowhere. Why? People are going around saying, oh, he's lost it. He's buckling under the pressure from Perez. He's not from Verstappen. He's not performing. He's not pulling his finger out. Bullshit. I've been saying it all along. He knows how to drive the car. He knows the driving style of the car, more importantly than anything. And he's getting slowed down by Red Bull. And here we go. Even before the start of the race, was it Brundle and is it Naomi Schiff, that girl? They asked him, and like, they're still going on about this. They're asking him, so what do you think, Christian? What about Daniel going back to Red Bull? I mean, Jesus Christ, this is all they're talking about. It's all I'm talking about now at the end of the day. Fucking hell. And I mean, even Christian Horner, this was a very interesting one. He says, well, Daniel's showing form again. So like, there's a lot of things that throw out at me here. Christian Horner is a shit stirrer. There's no two ways about it. You've got Sergio Perez, who is on another year's contract with Red Bull. Okay? He's signed up with the team for 2024. Signed contract. Now, those things can be cancelled, okay? Believe you me. But for now, everything's all good. Now, why would you want to rock the boat here? Everything's going well for Red Bull. They've got their golden boy winning everything. And even Christian Horner just said there, most importantly, like they asked him, they said, well, would you like to finish first and second? He said, well, the most important thing is to do is win. His first answer should have been, well, of course we would love a 1-2 in the championship. Now, most importantly, guys, our first job would be is to win the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championship, whatever way he would like to phrase that. But that would be his first, followed by, and of course, guys, we want to finish number 1 and 2. But he didn't start with that. He started off with, well, we've done the most important thing. Now, guys, you mightn't read into that, okay? But look, I've been a racing driver for 13 years. I know this world inside and out, and believe you me. And a team owner saying this shit, and a team owner, most importantly, team owner in the same interview saying that, well, Daniel is on form again. that's putting a question mark up to Perez. Because there's no doubt someone who Perez knows was going to hear Christian Horner saying that today and go, did you hear what Christian said today on the fucking interview? Perez is going to go, what? What did he say? Oh, well, yeah, he was on about, oh, Daniel's on form again. They were asking him, well, is he going to be going back to Red Bull? That's not giving Perez a solid fucking ground here. That's stirring shit, lads. That's stirring real shit. And this really tops off why he's such a shit stirrer, Christian Horner. He's saying Daniel Ricciardo is showing form again. Do you know where Ricciardo qualified? 17th. 17th out of 20. He was 4th last on the fucking grid. Now, if he qualified, let's say, in the top 5, because he's with AlphaTauri, it wouldn't be the greatest cars, of course, we all know that. So qualifying in the top 5 would be a great achievement, right? And okay, I could see where Horner would be going with that then. He's showing form, but you still don't say it because you got your own driver out the back. At least you show your driver some respect. You know? You don't stir shit behind his back on TV. Anyway, guys, it does put a question mark. I know I've been saying for a while. Now, I did know when Ricciardo came back mid-season, I did do a episode, and I was saying, well, look, I honestly don't think that Ricciardo's going to be going back to Red Bull. I think if he was going to go back, he would have gone back by now. Right? Now, I did say as well, look, of course, you never know. And, well, I'd still say in that episode I recorded in the summertime that I wouldn't have bet money on it, to be honest, that Ricciardo would be going back. I still feel Perez would stay. But maybe I'm changing my tune here. You know, you just don't know. You just don't know. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the next 2 races, guys, because a lot's going to be said in the next 2 races, whether Ricciardo's going to be going back or not. I can't see it happening still when push comes to shove. Unless he's bringing some big money up behind him. It's the only way I can see it happening. But Perez is bringing money to the table too. Anyway, we'll come back to that in the next few weeks, guys. I mean, we're getting to the end of the year, but the action ain't over yet. That's for sure. Okay, so let's have a look at the race itself, guys. Now, Leclerc, warm-up lap. Oh, man. I mean, this guy just doesn't have any fucking luck, huh? He just doesn't have any fucking luck. My God. Did anybody see it? For anybody that didn't see it, well, spoiler alert, turn off now. But if you have, I mean, the poor guy, hydraulic failure. Well, he said it after an interview that it's not necessarily hydraulic failure. Now, I've literally just pressed record, guys, when Verstappen and the top 3 passed the line. So maybe there's an update. I don't have that yet. So I wanted to get this up on YouTube and Spotify and Apple as fast as possible for you guys. So we'll probably get an update anyway on that. But it looks like a kind of a hydraulic system, and the brakes, the back wheels locked. And obviously, when that happens, you're going to just lose your car, your balance, everything. So, but I mean, man, the guy just has such bad luck. Such bad luck. We need to get him a leprechaun. He needs the luck of the Irish here, you know, in general. God, I hope things change for him for next year. I mean, just write off this year. Write it off. It's done. Maybe he can get, at best, he can get maybe a pole or 2. Maybe even a race win. But I can't see a race win happening. Okay, guys, we're back. My apologies. I had to just stop there to go for a quick piss. All right, so we were talking about Leclerc, so we're moving on here with the race. And okay, so good start from Verstappen, as normal. He's very good at race starts. I gotta give him that. And Norris, he came from 7th up to 2nd. Was it before the first corner? Fucking hell, guys! Fucking hell! Like what a rocket! of a start. That was amazing, seriously. Now, look, it did help that Leclerc was gone, so there was only 5 instead of 6 ahead of him. Yeah, so it made it a little easier. So I'm not trying to make excuses that, oh, it wasn't that good. No, not at all. It was a fucking brilliant start. I mean, lightning start. It was just perfect. There was no wheel spin, perfect traction, and off he went. And he just went straight up, boom, into the inside. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. So that was that sealed his second position today, guys. It really did. And so yeah, credit to him. Well done. But then obviously we had that huge shunt on the first lap, so we to go again, the restart, but poor old Lance Stroll. I mean, the guy started in third, and he's just having the guy's having a horrendous year. Horrendous year. Like, he's been fucking nowhere. I mean, third was pretty good. You know, I think that car's got some pace. Alonso's car has definitely got some pace. I don't know what's going on with Stroll. I really don't. It's bizarre, guys. Very, very fucking bizarre. Okay. So, let's look at my notes here. And, Norris and Verstappen, you were thinking there, it was lap 7 that you saw Norris right up behind Verstappen. You were like, oh my God, am I seeing things? There's an actual car that could actually overtake the Red Bull. Did anyone ever have that too? I was literally thinking I was seeing things. This just doesn't happen with this car, like, unreal, man. But hey, it didn't last very long. I mean, I think it was after Norris was literally just on his ass, and 2 corners later, he was a second behind or something, or 2 seconds behind already. It was a joke. It was done. It was like Verstappen just went, right, that's it, done. Good luck. I'm gone. It's crazy. So yeah, it didn't last very long, unfortunately. But hey, you know, maybe we'll see it. And I have to admit, actually, and I was predicting for the weekend that McLaren wouldn't be fast around here. Now, they've even made more progression already, guys, because as we remember at Silverstone, they just came from nowhere. Boom. Update of updates. They were up the top of the grid, and you could see that they were really, really good on high-speed tracks. Now, obviously, they've made improvements. A lot of improvements, because, excuse me, this track, it's not a high-speed track. It's quick enough, but it's not a high-speed. So, in general, they shouldn't have gone that well around here. And even I was predicting they wouldn't go well around here, guys. I have to admit, I didn't think they would. I had a feeling they may be up in the top 5 or something, yes, but not for second position. And I mean, you could say, okay, well, look, Norris got a great start, and that's what it made him. Yes, it did, but you still have got to hold your position. So he still had the pace, guys, to stay in second position. So that's very, very important, because if he didn't have the pace and he got a really good start, and then if he didn't have the pace, he would have just been overtaken, bang, 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 left, right, center within 2 or 3 laps. But he pulled out from everybody else. So McLaren have made some grounds here on medium speed tracks, which is fantastic to see. Fantastic, and I love that. And I'm loving that I'm getting my predictions wrong all the goddamn time. I mean, I hope somebody's actually making a count of how many predictions I'm getting wrong. It's just through the goddamn fucking roof at this stage, like. It really is. But it's good, though. It just keeps things mixed up. You can't predict. Keeps things interesting. Keeps you on the edge of your seat. So it's great. So, you know, in fairness, credit to McLaren. Huge, huge credit to McLaren. They've made some through the roof. It's been one of the best leaps forward ever in Formula One. Now, I can't think of at the top of my head. I might have to even go searching through that. Maybe I'll do that at the end of the year. Because, by the way, guys, when the season's over, we ain't done. Oh, no, 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 no. With Formula One on the podcast, we are just getting started, baby. Because we're going to go through Netflix Drive to Survive. We're going to review that. We're going to go through certain scenarios. Anyway, more to come on that. But I'll go through that at the end of the year, I think, about who's made such a huge leap forward like McLaren have. Has there been anybody else? Maybe there actually hasn't made anybody has made such a leap forward in one fucking round. I mean, and now they're getting their shit together here, lads. They're quick on slow speed tracks. Medium speed tracks. So now they're quick on high speed. Now mid speed. Slow speed. Now we got Vegas next week. Vegas looks like a bit of a stop start. It looks quick too. But we'll go through that. I'll be honest, I haven't done much research on Vegas yet. I've seen it very quick. I can't even remember, I'll be honest, off the top of my head. But what I do remember of it, it seems to be a bit stop-starty, a couple of quick corners, but they seem to be flat-out corners, though. So, anyway, we'll go through that in a few weeks before just Vegas with the preview of Vegas itself. But anyway, credit to McLaren. Good on you, boys. Good on you. Okay, what else do we have to look at? Alonso in form. Well, Alonso finished third position. We'll go through that in a minute. Great battle between Hamilton and Perez. Yeah, and you know what? I got to give the two of them credit. Hamilton and Perez. Now look, I'm giving them credit because they're fighting for second position in the championship, and they were putting in some moves to try and keep ahead of the other guy. Now, I was saying in one of my previous episodes, most drivers will say, well, who gives a fuck about second position? And you'd be goddamn right. And I would still stick to that. They want to do it for the team. They don't give a fuck about finishing second or third. They honestly, guys, I know race car drivers. I fucking know them. Now, they might hate the guy, right? But you know what? I'd be like, nah, fuck it. All right, fuck it. They could be pissed off for 10 minutes because Hamilton doesn't like Perez or Perez doesn't like Hamilton. I don't know if they do or not, but I'm just saying, an example. And they might be pissed off for a half an hour and they'd be like, nah, whatever, who gives a fuck? I finished second in the championship. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't win it. So put it this way, they wouldn't be losing sleep over it. That's for sure. So, but what I like about the two boys here is that it is very important to the teams itself because I've been mentioning in a few other podcasts that the higher up they finish, the more points they get. The more points they get, the more revenue they get. The more revenue they get, obviously it keeps the lights on, it keeps the teams going, pays the bills. It keeps the team alive. So it's very, very important for the team to finish second. So the two boys, they got their sleeves up, they got stuck in the mud, they're fighting away, and you could say that sometimes you could just give up. Well, okay, if the guy's behind me, I'm not even going to defend the racing line, I'm not going to defend the corner, I'll just let him through because he's quicker. They actually did try and keep each other behind each other. So you could tell they were not giving up. They weren't giving up, which it was nice. So, credit to the lads. Credit to the lads. Because look, like I was saying, you could put in a bit of an effort and try and stay ahead of the guy, but if he's going to take you, a lot of drivers would just go, nah, all right, he's got me, done. But the two boys went that extra step. They kept the battle alive, which is great. So credit to the boys. Credit to the boys. Okay, where are we now? Perez. Well, okay, still going on about Perez. This is the last time I'm actually going to talk about this year. I think it really will, unless something unbelievably drastically happens. But I'm done with this conversation about Perez and, is he buckling under the pressure, right? I'll say one last thing before we sign off on this subject for the rest of the year, is that Perez started 9th, guys. That's it, 9th. He got up to 3rd. Now, history is repeating itself here. Because some people are saying, he's buckling under the pressure, but he pulls it out every now and then in a race and he'll come from nowhere, but he'll come up to the top podium. So why isn't he qualifying well, but he's racing well? Well, it's because he doesn't have the car for qualifying. It's as simple as that. Perez has won 2 races at the start of the year. He qualified very well at the top front on the front row. Can't remember exactly for which race as such, but he was right there and there. He wasn't at the start of the year when he won those 2 races. He wasn't starting 9th. He wasn't starting 7th. He wasn't starting 15th, and then making his way up. No. Things are just getting all sorts of fuckery for this guy. And you know what? And this is the last thing, my real point here. Daniel Ricciardo had the same scenario when he was with Red Bull and Verstappen. And you can watch this, and this is proven. In Drive to Survive, you'll see this. Ricciardo was that guy who was the racer. Actually, no, what was happening is he was getting slowed down too. But what it looks like to me, guys, is what's happening is when Perez is qualifying bad, he's not getting the car. When he has a great result like today, from 9th to 3rd, the Red Bull team are turning the car, you could say, back up again overnight before the race. And now he's got the equipment. But it's enough for Verstappen to just shoot off into the lead, get away from everybody, and then Perez can make his own way up. Am I speaking nuts? I mean, if you really look at, if you do a bit of research on this or check it out, I'm not saying that you should, but if you really wanted to prove me wrong, check out Daniel Ricciardo, his results before, check out Perez's results. It all makes sense why he's getting slowed down. It all makes fucking sense. So, let's put that to bed, will we? Well, hopefully nothing drastic comes up in the next 2 rounds, and we'll move on from that. Hamilton had a disaster weekend. I was actually, and I did predict my predictions. Fucking hell. Shove them up my ass, my predictions. I was thinking Russell and Hamilton would be close enough this weekend. They could have a good weekend because they did win here last year. But as even just Toto Wolff said, if actually just when I came back from the toilet, I just saw Toto Wolff saying that the car is eating up the tyres, which makes a lot of sense, what he's saying. It makes total sense. And Hamilton had medium tyres on, and he was saying in the race that, we should have gone to hard tyres, guys. Why he was saying that is because the tyres are getting eaten up by the car, and even the medium tyres were too soft for the car, so they should have gone on the hard tyres. Now, they still would have went very, very slow, but it was just a matter of survival at the stage, staying alive for the rest of the race. So it was damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of thing. It was from the fire into the fucking grill, or whatever you call it. That saying. Am I getting that wrong? Anyway, so to finish off, Alonso and Perez, great fight at the end. Great fight at the end. It was so good. Oh, it was fantastic. How long did it go for? It must have went for about 4 laps, really. It was great. It was great. The 2 boys, they put the sleeves up. They got stuck in the dirt. They didn't want to give up. The 2 of them wanted that podium position. It's fantastic to see. And you see Perez overtaking, Alonso taking him back. Perez goes again. Alonso goes again. It was mad. It was absolutely fucking mad. Great to see. And hopefully we're going to have more of this now in the next 2 races. But honestly, well done to Alonso. And what I was mentioning Alonso there, and I said I'd come back to it. My point about Alonso at the moment is, was it 2 races ago or 1 race ago? Forgive me now, guys. I think it was the last race where they actually reverted back to their original settings from the start of the year. Now, I don't have all the ins and outs. Again, we'll go through that at the end of the year, okay? Because we're going to do a review of every team and every driver throughout the winter in the off season. So we're going to go through all that and analyze it in fine detail, break it all down. So it obviously works. Now, it must be soul destroying in many ways for them, because all the money, all the effort, all the time they've spent into these new upgrades, and they were worth piss. They weren't shit at the end of the day. It was a complete and utter waste and time of their money, their time itself. everything. It was a complete waste. And then they fuck it all out. Right, lads, we're going back to the simple, basic nuts and bolts. And what happens? He finishes third, just like he did at the start of the year. Now, look, that's sport sometimes. It sucks. That is racing. That can fucking happen. And it doesn't just happen to these guys. It happens to everybody. So, we won't be rolling out the violins here for them because, look, it's part of the deal. It's part of the game. It's part of racing. So it happens to every team every now and then. And it's just the way it happened for these guys. So, look, okay, we won't be rolling out the violins, but you feel for them a bit, all right? You feel for them a bit. But it's what it is. It's what it is. So it was nice to see Alonso back up there again. Hopefully these guys will have another last two races in Vegas and Abu Dhabi. So fingers crossed for them. But in fairness, credit to them. Even though, I will say one last thing. They're fucking celebrating too much. Did you see that at the end? Yes, they've had a shitty enough mid-season all the way up to now. Aston Martin, they finished third today and they're jumping around again. Here we goddamn go. Jumping around the place, lads, like they won the championship. I get it. You had a good result. It's been a long time since you've had a result. It's been a long old fucking year for you, lads. But come on. Calm down. Take it easy. This is called progression. This is called be very, very happy. Be very, very pleased. But not jumping up and down the place like you just won the championship. Please. Have some standards, lads. Where's your standards? But look, still a great result for them. So, guys, another great dominant weekend by Max Verstappen. Well, there's certainly no stopping him. I'd say even for the last two races. He's got this sewn up, obviously. And let's see how we get on in Vegas. Vegas should be a great one, guys. I mean, hey, Jesus Christ, it's Las Vegas. Fuck me. I can only imagine the scenery in Vegas for this. It's going to be one hell of a show. And guys, if you've been to Vegas before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Vegas have just the most, it's a fucking carnival. It's a zoo. It's amazing. So I can't wait for that in 2 weeks' time. So, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching on YouTube or wherever. And I love you all, guys. And I will see you again for Vegas in 2 weeks' time. We'll be back, obviously, the day before on the Friday of the Vegas weekend with the Las Vegas preview and who we're going to be predicting. Yeah, well, my bullshit predictions, but hey, we'll see what happens anyway. So guys, thanks for watching and listening. Talk to you later.